It's a beautiful day out here on Lake Michigan. Norris, Daisy, and I are on our way to St. Helena Island, where we will finally get to see the St. Helena Lighthouse. Welcome aboard, everyone. We are so glad that you are here to enjoy this adventure with us. We have arrived on St. Helena Island, and I have tied the boat to the dock, and Norris has already found the garden. There you have it, folks. Norris is plundering and pillaging the local garden life. Here's some interesting facts about the St. Helena Light. The island is located about 8 miles to the northwest in Lake Michigan. Congress approved funding for the Lightstation in 1872, and the Fresnel lens was lit for the first time in September of 1873. They then added additional structures, including an oil house, wharf, and boathouse around the 1890s. A succession of keepers manned the lighthouse until 1922, when it was automated and the last keeper departed. The most interesting story I found about this lighthouse was about a lightkeeper named Charles Marshall. I found this in a July 2018 article on the Mackinaw State Historic Parks website. The third keeper, a hardworking man named Charles Marshall, transferred to St. Helena in 1888. In August of 1900, he had an accident. He was alone on the island when he began the annual whitewashing of the tower. He was perched in a boatswain's or bosun chair and suspended by ropes from the top of the lighthouse at a height of 45 feet. At this point, he discovered that he couldn't reach the rope that lifts and lowers the chair. So he waved wildly at passing fishermen, but they had no way of knowing he was in trouble, so they just waved back and kept right on by. But in the evening, a passing tugboat fortunately noticed the light was out and stopped to see what was going on. Keeper Marshall was lowered to the ground and taken to a doctor in Mackinaw City, but the ordeal was just too much for him. So he transferred to Old Mackinaw Point, where he worked until April 1902, when, according to George Marshall's official station logbook, Charles was adjudged insane and taken away to Traverse City, where he was confined in the state mental hospital for the rest of his life. On the positive side, I read good things about the director of the asylum and his forward-thinking ways of rehabilitating the residents, so I'm inclined to believe Charles was in good hands. Eventually, the Lighthouse Service assigned an assistant keeper in 1909 and built an additional dwelling. Responsibility for the lighthouse then passed to James Marshall. He and his assistants made regular trips out to St. Helena to check on the automated light equipment, but since there was no permanent resident, the station over time was nearly ruined from neglect and vandals. But in 1986, the Great Lakes Lighthouse Keepers Association obtained a license from the U.S. Coast Guard to restore St. Helena Island Light Station. And since then, the GLLKA and many hardworking volunteers have put thousands of hours, and it's estimated over $1 million into repairing and beautifying the light station, and it is gorgeous. If you would like to volunteer, please visit gllka.org for more information. On this site, you can also get a beautiful view of the island via the St. Helena webcams. I'll put the link in the description below. We often arrive at beautiful places like St. Helena Island after the workday is done, so we didn't get to explore inside the lighthouse or any of the outbuildings, So for an exciting video full of volunteer activity, more Lightstation history, and beautiful shots of the inside of the restored lighthouse and outbuildings, please check out Restless Viking's YouTube channel and the video, The Lighthouse Keepers of St. Helena Island. He and Poppins did an amazing job on this video, and you're going to love his narrating voice. Thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe because you are invited on our next adventure.